The dead, bleak landscape wasn't a surprise for me. I'd seen it before in another timeline. The others hadn't, however, and although I couldn't see their faces through the visors of their helmets, I heard more than a few gasps over the radio. For a few long moments we just stood there, astonished.
Where the hell are we? The desert, I guess? I figured that out. I mean, which one? I don't know, but I think I know what day it is.
All the dots?
Look at the moon. It's red, right? That means today's the total lunar eclipse. So? Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was gonna be on December 31st, 2028. So... Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted? I think so.
Wherever we were must have been far away from any city. The air was clearer than I'd ever seen it. And the stars. The sky was full of them. More stars than I've ever seen in my life. I could even spot the lazy arm of the Milky Way. But the most striking feature was the moon. It was blood red and massive, much bigger, in fact, than I remembered it being. Then, as I watched, a black spot began to move across its surface. It was hard to see details, but it looked circular. The spot continued to move across the moon, heading for the right edge. What's that? Is this all just like a projection? Sort of like the Truman Show, where we're trapped within a simulation? What's that?
The moon. Well, the moon's shadow, actually.
The moon's shadow? I frowned. That didn't make any sense.
Zero told me to stay quiet.
Are we on Mars?
I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation. He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just kill me. He'd kill Quark, too. And I agreed, like an idiot, and brought Quark with me. Just so I could see her. Such an idiot.
All the dots.
So, that being the case, might as well start with this. I meant what I said before. That up there is the moon's shadow.
What the heck are you saying?
Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
All the dots. All the... Uh-oh, dots.
That's Earth?
Yeah. It's not the red moon you get from a lunar eclipse. And again, this isn't a lunar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse. Anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon, covering the sun.
What? No way. If that's the Earth, then where the heck are we?
The moon, of course. This is the lunar surface. We were just inside a moon base. No way.
We're on the moon. Not Mars.
No, you've got to be lying. How do you expect us to believe that? This can't be the moon. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. Besides, if this was the moon, how do you explain the gravity? The moon only has 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. So what's this?
She picked up a rock and dropped it.
See? That looked perfectly normal. Yes, it looked that way.
Luna?
You were right about the gravity in a way. I was one of the people who knew this wasn't Earth. Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but... Excuse me?
I still love you,
What?
Luna.
Please just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6. Then we gave you the Excelivir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while. What symptoms? Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6.
Oh.
It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed.
All the dots. That makes a lot more sense. Dots.
Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed. If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408. That means our brains are running at something slightly less than half speed.
All the dots. All the half your brain dots?
As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's. The time that it takes for an object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration. Since the gravity is lower on the moon, that means the time increases. I guess that's a little technical. Let me give you an example. Say you drop an apple from a height of 4.9 meters. It will take approximately 1 second to hit the ground.
Okay.
On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times root 6, which would be approximately 2.45 seconds. I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration of gravity nicely, but it could be anything. The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters and it would be the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So now we've established that on the moon, things fall root 6 times slower than they do on Earth. That being the case, what would happen if someone's brain slowed down by root 1/6? To them, 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second. 4.9 seconds would feel like 2.
All the dots. All the radical 6 moon dots.
But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us. Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the weaker gravity? Are you sure you didn't notice anything? Think back. Huh? You and Sigma and Phi said something about it in the lounge. About how you felt weird.
Yeah, we
It's
did.
kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating. Like that?
Right. I remember that. It seemed insane, but what Luna said made sense. In fact, it explained Phi's apparently superhuman strength quite well. Oh! That makes a lot more sense too. Uh-huh. All the dots. We were on the moon the entire time. Dots.
Wait, this is crazy. That can't possibly be Earth out there.
Actually, it makes a lot more sense than I thought it would.
Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth and it's blue and green and beautiful. That thing is just red.
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something.
Yeah?
This isn't New Year's Eve in 2028.
Mm-hmm.
Today is January 27th.
And 29?
No.
Don't tell me. 30?
Still no.
Then just what year is this?
Oh, the dots. Oh, how do I tell them dots?
It's 74.
Yes!
2074.
Yes! 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 Okay, I know it took me the entire game to get that theory, but I don't care. I just feel happy that I got a theory correct. Yeah. Sweet. That makes sense. No. That's insane. That would mean we were abducted more than 45 years ago?
I don't blame you if you don't believe me. But it's the truth.
Okay, so my theory isn't entirely accurate because I said it was just us, Alice, and Clover who were in sleep. But still, I figured out the... See, I knew it. Because when I saw that pop up, the 2028, and then we got, like, misted, I knew that just... It like, plants that in your brain, and you just hold that as a truth. But then, you never see this coming, because you were told many times when you start the game that it was 2028. Oh, this is good. I'm so happy.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd, 2074. Solar eclipses are easy to predict. We've known that there'd be one on the 27th for a long time. That's just science. Nobody can change that.
But why is the Earth red?
That's a long story. About 45 years ago, on April 13th, 2029, there were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world. On the 13th, all 18 of them went up.
Uh-oh.
All at the same time.
Uh-oh.
The explosion was about 180,000 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped on Hiroshima.
What? Why?
I suppose it started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada. On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident. Well, accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. The point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there, then escaped. Didn't take long for it to spread to the rest of the world. Like Luna explained, the virus slows your brain down, but eventually, it also makes you kill yourself. Pretty soon, the bodies started to pile up. Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot themselves in the head. You know, the classics. But for some, it was poison, or fire, or asphyxiation, or the noose. Plenty of people jumped in front of trains or cars. One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground. Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed, and thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation.
Yeah, it's horrifying. So wait, the whole point of the AB game then was to get us to be able to use the timeline so that way we could go back to 2028 to stop this apocalypse? Is that what's going on here?
Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses, covered in flies and rats and crows. I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a lot like that.
Oh man. All the dots. All the apocalyptic dots. Oh, that
After a
scene.
while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another.
Dude, that was super creepy because they like flashed the color with the fire for just a second. And it's almost like a subliminal message. It just freaked me out.
They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple meetings. There was only one thing to discuss, of course. How could they get rid of Radical 6? The answer, they decided, was purification. They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth and that'd kill the virus off for good. On April 13th in 2029, they put their plan into effect. That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors. Now the truth is, that's mostly just rumor. Nobody really knows what happened, but I've got my own theories. I think that the bombers had already been infected, and when they died, they took billions with them. The ultimate if I die, you're coming with me gesture, I suppose. I'd bet you money they'd all lost it long before they got to the reactors. Killing most of the world, no matter how bad things had gotten, was not a sane plan, even if it wasn't directly responsible. Radical 6 killed most of the people on Earth.
Oh man. All the dots. Oh, the horrible dots.
Anyway, why it happened isn't that important. Point is, it happened. You ever heard of nuclear winter? Well, that's basically what we got. The explosions threw a ton of crap up into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from all the fires. It blotted out the sun for 7 years. Plants withered and animals died by the millions. The few humans who were left banded together to survive. They were rough times. Eventually, they were over, though. The sky cleared and the sun came back. Plants started blooming again, and the animals that hadn't died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now, but there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. That's what you're seeing. You know why a sunset's red? this is the same thing. Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it'll get a lot farther when the air's dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere.
All the dots. All the red dots. I was speechless. What could I possibly say? There was no reason for Tamayoshi to lie to us. So we were standing on the moon, looking at the Earth. It was 2074. But why? Why were we there? Why were we then? All the dots. All the white dots. I was so lost in thought, I barely noticed Phi's approach.
Hey, Sigma. I think I figured something out.
A window popped up on the inside of my helmet, with Whisper in the corner. She seemed to be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is it?
I figured out why there's an extra E.
An extra E? You mean in the ninth line? Oh, you mean the graffiti?
Yeah, the one on floor B. I think it's an anagram, just like on floor A.
Yeah, I've been thinking that too. I just haven't spent the time to try to decode it because I don't want to get lucky and actually do it and spoil something. What's Anna say this time?
God damn it, Sigma! Knock it off!
All the dots. All the humorous dots.
Memento mori if the ninth lion ate the sun. If you rearrange the letters, you get... The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
Okay, I don't think I would have ever gotten that. And I don't think I would understand what that meant.
See?
The man on the moon rules
6
infinite
E's
time.
to get that.
Yeah, but why?
So they stuck an extra one in ninth.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time. Huh.
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AB project for one purpose. To transport the consciousnesses of two people into the past. Those two people are you, Sigma, and you, Phi.
So, what are you getting at?
My God, you're slow. You don't get it? They're saying we rule the infinite time. Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Aha, that's exactly what I thought too, Phi. Wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're gonna send us back 45 years?
Yeah, I'd bet on it.
So the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Tamayoshi was talking about?
I think so.
All the dots. All the infinite dots. That doesn't make sense, though. I mean, we came from that same time period before it, actually. So why bring us here and then send us back? All the dots. All the... Well, we had to have a body in the past in order to time jump. So by taking us away from the past, we can time jump back to that point in time, right?
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
Heck yeah. Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea.
All the questionable dots?
Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
It'll open the door for someone.
Fui ego eris.
Uh-huh. Oh, the grave! Oh, I remember that. And I remember saying that looks really suspicious. Although then again, I said that also about the line to the left of the grave and everything else, but... Oh, the one in the garden. But how do we get back in?
Well, come on, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
How do we get back into the room, though? The door's closed. We turn back into the pressure exchange chamber, the others following close behind.
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
We're going to have a talk with somebody.
Who?
You really need me to spell it out? The person behind all this.
You mean Akane?
Wait, what? How do you know that?
I'll take that as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
How do you know Akane?
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
Yeah.
I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please.
More
I'm coming
questions.
with you. You folks just said the magic word.
I'm going too then. So am I.
Alright, family field trip, let's go.
Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're serious? What the hell is going on?
Yeah, she just basically summed up about 58 hours of this game for us. Arg, shut it. Just shut it. Come on if you want to. We don't need to do roll call. Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. Yeah, let's go talk to June. With that, we headed back through the airlock. All the dots. All the back into this place we go dots. Akane should be able to let us in, right? She does have control. Man, this story just is... This is the... I mean... I know I call this a story-based gaming channel, but... Man, did we pick a good series to start this channel with. We didn't really start this channel with this series, but I mean, it's... Well, you know, we're not even at our 6-month anniversary mark yet, so... I still call it early in our channel, right?
Ah, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course.
But the other door opened?
But the door on floor B...
Yep.
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift to it. And it looks like I was right.
Any idea where Akane might be?
Yep. The grave.
You mean the grave in the garden?
Yep. Don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's still alive. Just in the grave. Oh, the dots. Oh, I hope she's not dead dots. Anyway, let's move to the garden. Oh, we're back here. To the Balam Garden. Maybe that's what B stands for. Like before. So before garden. So
Is Akane really under here?
I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole on the grave? If I just insert this here, I pull the key off my ankle and fitted it into the hole. I twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. Aha! Oh!
What is this?
No, that's not something I expected.
It doesn't look like a coffin. Yeah, it's a treatment pod. Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
She grabbed a hold of the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
Really? What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1 defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Oh, come on!
Once stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Right, cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So, Mizakane's like an ice cube?
I think so?
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah?
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay?
Yeah, how about it, Kay?
Specifically, why do you know Akane?
All the dots. All the Akane dots.
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Everything. I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9.
But how could you be born here when I remember not... So confused.
A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
The 9th one, of course.
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning. You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension.
Huh.
That was the reason for the puzzles.
I like how they include that.
Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential.
Yeah, we got that already.
With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life-or-death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
We've heard this before, okay? All the dots. I guess you really were raised by Akane dots. But how are you me?
Wait. Hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories.
All the what dots? All the really what dots?
Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is...
All the dots? This gets more confusing every second. Dots.
Yes. I suppose I should explain.
Uh-huh.
Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand.
Thank you.
First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me
We were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes, in preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
Yeah, I'm wondering that too.
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
But why Alice? All the dots. All the Esper dots.
What about me?
Uh-huh.
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh? But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history. You were able to perform a prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind.
Huh.
Only you could do that sort of thing. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were able to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust.
Man, this all sounds completely insane, but it does make sense.
This history exists because of your presence.
All the dots. All the prime factorization dots.
Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Aww.
I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth.
So far, it probably has been.
What kid would turn that down?
Aww.
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, and headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out, and when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
All the dots. All the white smoke dots.
Now, Dio. His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given two tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed, at least not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan.
Blow everything up.
If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
All the dots. All the destructive dots. So apparently Dio, friend of our channel Dio, not the Dio in the game, he told us that one of the popular theories is that Dio kept all the bombs in his hat? Sure, why not?
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper.
All the dots? All the wait, what dots?
We can set Brother aside for now, though.
Is Brother one of the original people from the original game?
May I proceed?
Sure. No one objected. We are all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save two, Luna and myself. Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna.
Aww.
I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves, at a later time.
Yeah, I don't wanna... We love you, Luna.
Would that be alright with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
Yes, yes, yes.
You've already met him, Sigma, in another timeline.
Yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. I still don't know who he is, though. Or if that's really him.
Stage 2 is complete.
So the person in the chamber is going to be Zero Senior, not Akane, huh?
TP00 unlocking.
Because Akane said you'll meet someone, not you'll meet me.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. So who is this guy? All of us gathered around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay, let's get started then. Ready?
Phi laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
All right, here we go. 3,
Oh, come on, Phi.
2, 1.
Oh, here we go. What? Alright, now my brain really hurts. There is now 3 Sigmas? Is Sigma a clone? What is going on here? I wasn't expecting that. Suddenly, my head was full of memories from other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B, in front of the white door. Kay was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? It didn't make any sense. After I'd seen him, I was ejected with Terracurine, and that was the end of that. But wait, if the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse, who was wearing Kay's armor?
You finally noticed.
What is going on?
Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
No. No. Oh my god, you're...
Yes, I am.
Akane Kurashiki.
Oh my...
It's you. June. I mean, Akane. From... But you're old.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Akane, long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me. And it was all I could do to not collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse? Once you saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did, at least. I carried your bodies to the third AB room, and then took Dio's to the fifth. After that, I went into the first room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Tio killed you. And then Luna took your body to the 6th room. You couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat.
This is so crazy.
Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
What? No, that's nuts.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct.
But who is...
Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
all the dots. All of this is craziness dots.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied.
Mm-hmm.
He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
All the dots. All of this is so crazy dots.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
What?
I've never seen him before.
Me either. Total stranger.
Oh, oh, What? Hey, come on. What are you guys saying? Right here. Same face. All the dots. All the dots. All the dots. All the dots.
Are you all right, Mr. Sigma?
No, I'm definitely not alright.
Did you hit your head or something?
Huh? What? It didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
What does that mean?
Don't you get it?
No, I don't.
You've jumped to the future. From 45 years ago.
Oh. I looked around frantically. A pond. I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees. Crawling on all fours, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Darn it. I struggled to take deep breaths. Then, slowly, I peered into the pond, looking for my reflection. What? What? We're wearing the right clothes. But that's Zero. So when I said that we were Zero, I was actually right, but I don't understand how. What? No, this can't be real. This face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb.
Doctor. She had said doctor. We had gotten our PhD.
Although, to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now.
Oh my gosh.
Zero, the mastermind of the AB project, is you.
Now I know, bear with me. I know that I have postulated theories that we could be Zero and whatnot like that. I don't think I ever remotely came close to this. Wow. Huh. I have no words. What? No, that's not possible. You know, it really gets even worse when you think about the fact that we were talking about seeing young girls in swimsuits and here we are like this old guy. Ugh. Let's pretend that never happened. That's bull.
No, it's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
You will be. A pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him.
Create?
His name is Kyle Climb. Your clone.
Ah, I did say clone earlier.
That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself.
Granted, when I said clone, it was like 10 minutes ago.
23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future.
This is so weird.
When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor. Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it.
So that armor that we were wearing was actually... Wow, that was actually what he was wearing as a kid. Aw, he's so cute. Little child K is adorable.
It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the Nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place.
All the dots. All the... I don't know what to say because I think my mind exploded like a gajillion times already. Dots.
I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness.
Right. Got that.
Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin. The past consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch. That was the chief goal of the project.
Wait. So, the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma,
Do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this, right?
Yes.
Rhizome 9. Ah.
Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making.
All the dots? Oh, the what dots?
A is where everything began. December 25th, 2028. You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B. January 25th, 2074. You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old. Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future. I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out.
All the dots. All the body switching, conscious, rearranging dots.
Moving on. If you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact. Have you already forgotten? You were all infected with Radical 6.
Oh, so 2 hours was really... Oh!
The virus slowed your brain down. So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed.
Ah.
But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes.
All the dots. All the... Man, that's tricky dots.
Now comes the important part. After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029. You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened.
Which is why we created the AB game. So it's like a self-actualizing loop. All the dots. All the... I really should have taken a break from this for a while, dots, because my throat is absolutely killing me. At the same time, I can't. I mean, this is... Oh, this is too good.
The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B. But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body until you reach point B.
All the dots. All the dots.
Do you remember when B is, Sigma?
January 25th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body?
Point A. December 25th, 2028. The day all of this started.
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body.
So is he the one going around kidnapping everyone?
While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
But once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C.
That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at C.
So it's rotating.
Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path. With one exception.
This line here at point E, right? So if you follow this around, A comes up like this, comes around, goes over, comes through here, down this way, and then here, at this spot, you can either go up, or you can go to the right. There's two divergent paths.
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028.
The day of the lunar eclipse.
Of the total eclipse.
The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility.
Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out by jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028?
Yes. That is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point, so that we might save humankind from destruction.
Man, this is so trippy.
And undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
All the dots. All the time-traveling shenanigan dots. Tell me one thing.
What is that?
You said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's going to trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Fortunately, we now have plenty of that. Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness, like a bullet from a slingshot.
And how do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death.
Uh-oh, I don't like this.
That can jumpstart your brain.
What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out?
All the questionable dots?
I mean this.
Uh-oh. She kept the knife. Dio's knife. No sooner were the words out of my mouth. Phi! I screamed and leapt toward them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving towards Phi's chest. I was almost there. All the dots. All the what the dots. When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. There was a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body, lying on top of me. I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin. Tu fui, ego eris. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have no words to describe this game except all the dots. Yeah. I mean, that's all I got. All I got is all the dots. Don't go anywhere. We do still need to read those gold files. So there is something that we still have to do, but man, this has been one heck of a ride. I am the FlightlessBird. This is your story-based game channel, and I want to thank all of you so very, very much for being a part of this journey with me. You know, when I created this channel, I never expected to have 1 million subscribers. What I wanted was just a few good people that I could enjoy games with. And if we got big, great. But at the same time, you know, just listening to Rebecca, Dio, Alfie, and have them join with me on this journey, it's been wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. And I want to thank you guys so very much. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. And for all those who are watching who don't comment, thank you as well. I just hope that you enjoyed this journey as much as I did, because I really enjoyed this journey. Almost 90 episodes, or maybe this is the 90th episode. You know, this was a good 3 months. 3 months of a journey to play this game, and it was worth every single moment and every single dot. Phi End. Oh, what? Are you kidding me? That's not the end of the game? After all that I did, it's not the end? Trophy earned time after time. Are you serious? There's more? How can there be more? Wow, this game just keeps going. It doesn't know when to stop. Oh yeah. Of course. April 13th, 2029 headquarters. Before... Man, this just... Well, my friends, everything that I said was still true, but we still gotta go down the rabbit hole. Let's go. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, please do not forget, you matter. You are brilliant and you are loved. And you should always remember to be true to yourself. Don't let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly feathered flightless bird. Till next time.